This story is for those who are dissatisfied with their lives and often perceive others as being happier than them. To truly grasp the essence of this story, make sure to watch until the end. Once upon a time, there was a raven who was deeply unhappy with his life. One day, he sat on a tree branch crying. A monk was sitting nearby on the same tree, and a tear from the raven fell on the monk's cheek. The monk looked up and noticed the raven crying. He gently asked, "What troubles you, my friend? Why are you in tears?" The raven replied, "O wise one, I am greatly troubled by my life. Nobody loves me. People always shoo me away in disgust. Nobody gives me anything to eat, and everyone hates me. It feels like death would be better than living this life." Hearing the raven's words, the monk's heart filled with compassion. He said, "My friend, we should learn to find happiness in whatever circumstances we find ourselves in." However, the raven did not understand the monk's wisdom and continued to cry. The monk then said, "Don't be upset. Tell me, what would you like to be? I can transform you with my mantra." The raven brightened up and said, "Oh, blessed one, if you wish to do me a favor, please turn me into a swan." The monk replied, "Very well, I can make you a swan. But first, go to a swan and ask if he is truly happy with his life. Go and find out, and I will wait for you here." The raven, now excited, flew off to find a swan. He found one swimming in a pond and said to him, "You are so beautiful, as white as milk. Everyone admires you. Surely you must be the happiest bird in the world." But the swan, with a heavy heart, replied, "No, my friend, I am not happy. There are so many beautiful colors in the world, but I have none. White is a plain color. I believe the parrot must be the happiest bird, for he is so colorful." Hearing this, the raven flew off to find the parrot. When he found him, he said, "Oh, parrot, you are so colorful and beautiful. Surely you must be the happiest bird in the world." The parrot, however, responded sadly, "No, my friend, I am not happy. People often keep parrots in cages, and I constantly fear that someone might catch me and lock me away. I think the peacock must be the happiest bird in the world, as he is even more colorful than I am." With this in mind, the raven flew off to find a peacock. After a long search, he finally found a peacock in a zoo where hundreds of people had gathered to see him. Once the crowd dispersed, the raven approached the peacock and said, "Dear peacock, you are so beautiful. Every day, thousands of people come to admire you. Meanwhile, when people see me, they shoo me away. Surely, you must be the happiest bird on the planet." The peacock sighed deeply and said, "I once believed I was the most beautiful and happiest bird on the planet. But because of my beauty, I am trapped in the zoo. When people pluck my colorful feathers to make decorative items, it hurts me greatly. I am not happy, my friend." The raven was surprised by the peacock's response and asked, "If you are not happy, then who do you think is the happiest bird in the world?" The peacock replied, "I have observed the zoo very carefully and realized that you, the raven, are the only bird not kept in a cage. People don't try to capture or imprison you. So, for the past few days, I've been thinking that if I were a raven, I could roam freely and happily." Hearing this, the raven flew away, and for the first time, he felt content to be a raven. He returned to the monk and said, "O wise one, I no longer wish to be anything else. I am content with who I am." If we reflect on our lives, we will find that we often have the same problem. We make unnecessary comparisons with others, which leads to sadness and self-condemnation. We fail to appreciate what we have, which creates a cycle of unhappiness. We should learn to be happy with what we have, instead of focusing on what we lack. There will always be someone who has more or less than what we have. If you constantly compare yourself to others, you will never find happiness. The person who is content with what they have is the happiest person in the world.